With the cancellation of the remainder of the UAAP's 82nd season last month, there were important questions that needed to be answered. We caught up with Tolentino, senior opposite spiker of the Ateneo Lady Eagles, and executive director Rebo Saguisag to talk about eligibility and what's next for student athletes in the UAAP. Can you tell us the story of how you learned that the UAAP would be canceling the remainder of its season?
Well, actually, since I was already in Canada and I actually just flew in, I think, that day. So I found out actually the night of, and I was sleeping when it was all happening, like when they put the announcement in.
Yeah.
So when I woke up, that was when I got all these messages from our Viber groups with our team, and then there were like people screenshotting and sending it to me. So I was kind of expecting it already. I mean, with the way that everything was happening with the quarantine and with the lockdown, I kind of had a feeling just because the way UAP works is that there's so many people and that there's a lot of crowds. So I was kind of preparing myself even before the announcement. For me, of course, I was sad, and of course, it's frustrating. But I understand. I mean, of course, safety first, safety of the athletes, safety of all the people watching.
But heading into that season, like how excited were you to play just one last year for Ateneo and get the opportunity to defend your title?
Um, I mean, it was a season that I was really looking forward to. As you know, I came back after deciding not to play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely one of the hardest decisions to make, just because I had already decided not to, and then I came back. So, the fact that it's kind of supposed to be, I was looking forward to it because I really did want to play in the UAAP again, and I really wanted to experience that for my last year. Um, it was exciting for me, especially because I saw the potential of this year's team and the potential of us making it to the championship. For me, I really believe we could have reached our goal, and we were a very strong team. And it's just frustrating that we're not able to even get the opportunity. But I understand that all the teams are feeling that way. So.
No, the first question that was in the minds of people after the cancellation was, of course, first feeling bad for the seniors specifically because you'd be playing your last year. Do you think it would be fair from the UAAP side to kind of allow seniors to play one more year if they choose to do so?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that after it was announced about the cancellation. I mean, for me, of course, um, I mean, I can't really say any decision like, oh, if they do extend it, that everyone will come back or
Yeah.
whatever, just because the situation we're in right now is so uncertain, and just with things happening, it's like my mind isn't really on, oh, are they gonna allow us to play next year? Um, of course, I'm sure a lot of the seniors and I'm sure a lot of the teams would want to have an extra eligibility year, just because like we only had 2 games.
Yeah.
So I think it would be fair, but it's not, of course, not up to us.
We welcome to
Yeah.
2OT Attorney Rebo Saguisag, the Executive Director of the UAAP. Attorney Rebo, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time and taking our call. Of course, we called to ask about the situation regarding the UAAP, the cancellation of the remainder of the season. You announced it back in
Yeah.
April 8th. Can you walk us through the process of how you led to that decision with the UAAP board to say na it's not going to work out. We have to end the season right now.
The government will not bar us from holding a mass gathering.
Yeah.
As you know, by close to that date, bilang nag-extend yung ECQ eh. So for yung naging from April 14, naging April 30. So definitely it's not gonna work out anymore kasi even if malift ng, and as you know, na-extend na naman ng up to May 15, di ba? So talagang ano eh, kasi people have to understand that season 82 must end ng May 31. And why do we say this, no? Pwede naman siya technically, theoretically, na mag-extend over that. But you have to also understand na aapaw na siya sa season 83, which is not fair naman for season 83. So by canceling season 82, parang we feel, no, the board felt that it gives more wiggle room for season 83 to work with rather than dalawang mistiso, no? Parang pinilit mo yung season 82, apektado pa yung season 83. So sabi namin, ano na lang muna, talagang let's go. Kumbaga, we'd rather lose the battle in order to win the war.
Attorney, right after that announcement, of course, the talk was all about the volleyball competitions. Yun yung pinakamainit na pinag-uusapan. And next to that is the eligibility of the athletes. Some of them only got to play a couple of games. Is the UAAP board open to talking about, extending the eligibility of the second sem athletes for, not counting season 82?
Okay, I appreciate your question, no? Especially sabi mo is the UAP open, no? Kasi just to let the people know na wala pa kami decision, and I think naman there's no need to rush. We actually have the luxury of time, especially now na talagang naka-isip pa naman tayo eh. So there's no need to rush for that decision. However, suffice it to say, Carlo, that the issue is pending. And in fact, the fact that it's pending, pinag-uusapan talaga siya. And I say this, that as early as, if you remember, even before Corona, there was Taal. The Taal situation, Taal volcano. And in fact, as early as those eruptions, parang worried na kami na baka maapektuhan yung season. On pa lang, na-float the idea. What happens kung masuspend yung season? And I guess, yes, you can say the word na open because it makes sense naman. No? It makes sense if 1 or 2 games or worse, may ibang events na hindi natuloy, like baseball, bakit mo naman ika-count yan as a playing year kung hindi naman natuloy? So I think that's easily acceptable. In fact, the US NCAA and the local counterpart NCAA has already, I think, made an announcement that it will not count as a playing year. The bigger question, I think, and the bigger issue that should be answered is what happens to the age requirement. At yan ang hindi kita makasagot as we speak. Yan yung medyo thorny issue or more interesting question.
Attorney, thank you so much for answering that question. We all know it's a very tough situation to be in. As we all know, the ECQ is extended until May 15, and then it could be downgraded, it could be extended again, but we just heard that the GCQ still prevents sports trainings, still prevents mass gatherings. As you said, attorney, you set a schedule before. Kumbaga, you drew a line in the sand saying that if it crossed to this, we will have to cancel the season. Do you have something similar set? For example, the extension of the ECQ or the GCQ to say that the UAAP season 83 could still start in its usual schedule of September?
Yan, mabigat yung sinabi mo, Carlo, no? Kasi tama ka, it's right that you mentioned the sport trainings, no? Kasi even if it's lifted, you have to consider yung for the time na ma-condition yung mga players to avoid injuries. Diba? So, we have to have a terminal date. And right now, wala pa naman. Wala pa kaming definite dates na pinag-uusapan. Pero ang mga time frames na pinag-uusapan, kung no April 14, that's a 2-week window, no? Pero kasi medyo in shape naman yung mga players. Pero ito, dahil nagpahinga nga ng matagal, I think in the NCAA, they're talking about at least a month or 2 before that. So, kung ganun ang pinag-usap, September, maybe dapat ma-lift na yung makapag-training na yung mga players as early as July, which we know is medyo long shot yata yan. So we're actually open na to the idea, no, na maybe baka January mag-start. We're already building different scenarios. Baka hindi lahat ng events ma-accommodate for next season. So we really do not know. We're trying to build all scenarios. Kasi ang concern right now ng mga schools is paano nga sila mag-open, di ba? And some schools have already announced mag-open sila online. So, kung ang classes mo mismo masususpend, I mean physical classes, no? Much more so siguro ang sporting event, no? I mean we have to make a distinction between fitness, which is very important, as opposed to a sporting event, which is mainly entertainment, no? So, high risk, no? And there are very grave consequences that we have to consider. Mahirap talaga isugal.
Attorney, before we let you go, just a message to all the student athletes out there who are, waiting for the opportunity to train with their teams again, to perform for their schools again.
Oh yeah, unang-una Carlo, thank you for this opportunity. Number two, thank you for mentioning that they're students also, no, before they're athletes. Kasi yun yung nakakalimutan ng iba na even if maybe the rest of the world, the professional athletes may return to action, it doesn't mean that tayo will already return to action also because it's a business to them, it's their profession. Tayo, estudyante muna, and which are under the care of your individual schools. Unang-una, we appreciate from the UAP no, na I thought unang-una medyo magagalit sila, but to the coaches and the players, they really understood no, that we really had to make this call for all your safety of our student athletes. We thank you for your support and understanding. And kapit lang, it's a challenge, no? You're staying fit at home. And as always, like you said, no, relax lang and find time to chill, no? Because mental health is also part of fitness, and we can't wait for season 83. If anything, at least sabik na sabik tayo for next season.
Attorney, once again, thank you for taking the call. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Yeah, Carla, I got that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.